Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. I'm Tampa J. We begin in my home here in Tennessee, East Tennessee. I am starting this video up like I don't normally do. I'm also creating a video with content I don't typically create. This is something different. This is a collection haul video, physical media. I am a huge collector. Is that the proper way to say it? I am a big collector. I think it both works. I am a collector of VHS tapes. No matter what time of year it is always Halloween in this household. We've got a lot of Halloween decor in the house thanks to my fiance, Chris the girl. We got Summerween, we got Halloween. I am just so grateful to live with someone that embraces the holiday I love the most, just like me. So that's why I'm always starting with spooky stuff around me, and I love it. This video is different. It is not like I usually create. This content is maybe, to someone, a bit drastic. A left turn, a 180 as they say. But I love movies, specifically horror. And since I was a kid, I considered my movies as physical media. We're talking about VHS tapes. I consider them sacred. And that's why I have never gotten rid of one. I have never gotten rid of a movie, whether it's VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. Why would I get rid of that? Because movies mean so much to me. One of my favorite things to do when I was a kid was go into the video store, typically a Friday night or whenever Dad had time to take us up there, and just spend, sometimes I'd spend hours walking around. And my dad would try to hustle us up, we got to get home. I just loved walking around video stores, picking up the covers, looking at them, determining whether or not in my little kid mind that I'd seen it before, because I couldn't really read that well. I was very young. And also going to the movies, the theater. And I think my life has been centered around entertainment. And one of my dreams was to be an actor when I was a kid. And then eventually I wanted to be a director and create films. I would write scripts that I'd never shared before. I wrote a short film called Vile Iniquity. I don't know where I got that title. It just stuck with me. And it was like a slasher type thing. Never went anywhere with it. But point being is, I have never gotten rid of a movie. And they have moved with me, I would say, I've moved almost 30 times physically, house to house. And they have been with me my whole life, and I just keep adding to my collection. And today I'm going to share with you a speck of sand inside my VHS collection, my July pickups from last month. If you're into physical media, if you collect VHS tapes, if you like movies, if you like nostalgia, I hope you enjoy this video. If you don't like any of that, I hope you're entertained somehow. I always try to make this an upbeat, positive place to come relax, escape from reality, and enjoy. And I really enjoy collecting these, so I hope you enjoy it too. That's it. We're going to head into the next room, and I'm going to show you my VHS haul from July 2026. And I think in the future, I'll be doing more stuff like this occasionally. I've got a busy season coming up. Halloween haunt season is coming up. And I go all in for haunted houses each year. So amongst my travels, definitely, if I see a retro video store, I'm going to stop and check it out and take you guys inside with me. That was a long-winded intro. But it was absolutely necessary. Let's go in the other room. Let's get started. As I always say, there's much ahead. And welcome to my pool room. Displayed on the pool table right now are all of my Indiana pickups I got last month as I was visiting my mom. I went to the Days of the Dead horror convention, and also I went to the John Mellencamp concert, took my mom there. You may have caught those episodes. The day after, I think it was the Sunday, my mom and I went out thrifting, and I picked up everything you see right here on the table, with the exception of some CDs and some stuff over here I will show you that I picked up at Karma Records in Indianapolis. Karma Records is a blast from the past. My dad bought records there. As you can see, it established 1970, and this specific store on Washington Avenue, US 40 in Indianapolis, was just right around the corner from Days of the Dead. I stopped in there and it was a blast from the past. The place has not changed, and I picked up some media. I will share that with you. And in this bag right here, I'll reshare it, but this is all of the stuff I got at the Days of the Dead horror convention in Indianapolis. I shared that in that vlog, but I just wanted to show you everything on this table is everything I picked up in Indiana. And then also, once I got back, I went thrifting a couple weeks back, actually about a week and a half, and I found a bunch of VHS tapes at random stores in Tennessee. So I'll share that with you too. I've got a lot of stuff to share. And everything you see laid out on the table is from the same vendor. This is an antique store in my hometown of Newcastle, Indiana. Can't think of the name, it's escaping me. I'll put it right there in the font. But everything you see here, I pretty much got for 75 cents each. And the day before at Indianapolis, I paid almost the same amount for just that bag of VHS right there for this all laid out on the table. So it was a steal. I found a box underneath a card table in a vendor, and I'd been there before to that antique mall. Maybe I walked past it before, maybe I just missed it, or maybe it was hiding there the whole time. But there were 4 boxes of VHS tapes where I got a majority of these right here, and they were untouched. Like no one had ever gone through them. The Great Smoky Roadblock. Action adventure sticker on it. Media video. I have never seen this. This is like the 70s Smokey and the Bandit Cannonball Run craze, I'm assuming, starring Henry Fonda. That's really what wanted me to buy this. I had no idea about this movie. Got that for 75 cents, and it looks like it came from a video store called Blowout Video, which I'm assuming is in Indiana, because that's where I got it. Next up, we have Someone Behind the Door, starring Charles Bronson. I'm always picking up Bronson films. I have never heard of this one, and I've never seen it, obviously. Jill Ireland, his wife, is also in it. Also, Anthony Perkins. I'm just realizing that. I look forward to watching that. Anxious to see what that's like. You want to see the tape? Show him the tape. Yeah, it's UAV Corporation Video. Now, this is an original Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It's in better shape. I already have this movie. I have the movie that I first watched this film from when I was a kid. Also purchased in Newcastle, Indiana, of course. But I believe this is the first run release, because it's just like mine. Space Hunter, Adventures in Forbidden Zone. Who has ever seen this? Have you seen this? I'm sure someone's seen it. But we got Peter Strauss and Molly Ringwald. The ultimate science fiction thriller. Just by looking at the cover, makes me want to watch it. Let's see the inside there. It's a really cool Good Times video. Show you the back. Also got this for 75 cents. I worked out a deal because I bought so many. Most of these were $1, so they discounted me to 75 cents each. If you've seen this, let me know. Blast off a high-powered space adventure starring Peter Strauss as a galactic bounty hunter menaced by a mechanical madman in the year 2136. Judgment Night. Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Dennis Leary. I don't know if I've ever heard of this film, but I look forward to checking it out sometime. I do have that VHS player, so I can pop this in. So I'll probably keep stuff that I'm interested in watching to the side before I store it. Alright, so I have Van Damme, Hard Target, original VHS in great shape, and then I have Universal Soldier 2. It's in okay shape. I don't have it, so I had to have it, if you know what I mean. This is really cool because I remember my parents specifically renting this at Broadway Video as a new release in Newcastle, Indiana. Broadway Video was like my first video store, and I don't know if this was at Broadway Video, but it does have a Be Kind Rewind sticker on it, so it was obviously at a video store, and it does have a tag here. It just says Winchester Data Products. I don't know, it could have been from Winchester, Indiana, a video store there, but I would like to wonder if, like, is this the tape that my parents rented. I remember kind of watching it. I was a little kid. I remember them really watching it, and it was kind of freaky. If you haven't seen Flatliners, there's not really a movie like it. And look at the cast here. Isn't that awesome? Kevin Bacon, Julia Roberts, Kiefer Sutherland, and also you got William Baldwin back there. And I just like to call him Jimmy King. He's the best wrestler. Better than all the wrestler. Alright, we're going to complete the first row. I'm just going to show you all of these 4 in a row. Cover Up, Dolph Lundgren, Louis Gossett Jr. I have not seen that. Jumping at the Boneyard with Tim Roth and Alexis Arquette. It has a Marsh Video Store sticker on it. So this was once rented at a Marsh Video Store. I used to rent from a Marsh Video Store. So I'm assuming this came from the Marsh in Newcastle because that's where I got it. It would be cool to think that. I do have some Marsh Video that I purchased when I was a kid in my collection. So adding that one too. Ken Howard, Stephanie Powers, Manhunter. An ex-Marine hunts down his bank-robbing sister and her gang. That sounds like an idea for a movie. I had never heard of this. Obviously never seen it. It is a Good Times video. Look forward to checking it out. It does have like this cool like plastic thing on here. So it's a dead giveaway that there was like a tab in there and this was at a video store. Oh look, The Blind Mice Video. Muncie, Indiana. That's funny. That's right up the road from Newcastle. So now we know where that came from. I love that. Roy Scheider in Blue Thunder. Roy Scheider from Jaws. Honestly, never heard of this movie. Look forward to checking that one out too. Alright, there's just so many tapes. I'm going to have to speed this up just a little bit, or this thing will be 2 hours long. So for the second row, I'm going to go kind of fast. Alright, first up in the second row, we have Outland with Sean Connery. Never seen that. Also, Peter Boyle's in that. On Jupiter's Moon, he's the law. I look forward to checking that out. And then the next several, this vendor loved Charles Bronson, as I did too. And look at this. I made out like a bandit with Bronson.
Even Jesus. Yes, I do. Well, you're going to meet him.
We've got Cold Sweat. We've got Someone Behind the Door. And then we got this tape that has 3 Bronson movies on it, including Death Wish 4, Assassination, and Murphy's Law, some of his best. And then I got a Death Wish 4, The Crackdown. I have this already. This one's probably in about the same shape. Of course, this is a Canon film. What I did not have on VHS is Death Wish 5. I have been looking for this. I got this for a freaking $1. It said 3, but I talked him down. I got everything you see here for $1. And look at this. It's a product of Canada, and it is EP mode. So this might be actually worth some more money to someone because it's an EP mode. But I believe I have every single Death Wish now on VHS. Some I have duplicates. And then last but not least for Bronson in this row, Chino. Did not have that on VHS. We've got an original Total Recall VHS. I have one of these, but it's not in this good a shape because I watched it so much. Love this film. I think it's one of Schwarzenegger's best performances. Definitely one of the best science fiction action films ever made. Congo, a very underrated beast kind of horror movie. It's a Michael Crichton story. This thing was like shoved down our throats in the 90s when we were kids. I'm just thinking like they tried to make it like Jurassic Park, but it didn't stick. But I enjoyed the film. It's actually really good. Ernie Hudson in that movie, of course. Highlander, The Final Dimension, which I consider the best sequel out of the Highlander series. I have this. I actually bought it at Hollywood. My first copy, I bought it at the Hollywood video store that I worked at in Tampa. But I had to get it again. It was only $1, and it's in better shape, and it doesn't have the Hollywood video stickers on it. So I've got 2 of these in my collection now. The James Dean story. James Dean plays himself in the Dean story. This is one of the first documentaries on James Dean. Had to pick that up. James Dean from Indiana. Also, I grew up 50 miles from Fairmount, where he was living at. He was born in Marion, but grew up in Fairmount. And then this one, last but not least in this row, Demolition Day. I don't know, you might say it's the least favorite one. I've never seen it. It's got Joe Mantegna, Martin Sheen, Joanna Pacula, and Joe Piscopo. And it looks fun. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but it looks fun. I'm a huge fan of the original Iron Eagle. And I remember back in the day, they used to play like part 2, part 3, and I think there's even a part 4. But in that stack of boxes, we had Aces, Iron Eagle 3, and then you got Iron Eagle 2 here. So I picked those up. The Train Killer, never seen it. I love the sticker on this. Preview tape, $9.97, discount. Michael Sarrazin, the cover's really cool. An original Dick Tracy, which was in good shape. I picked that up because I don't think I have a Dick Tracy tape. I was always watching my cousins when I was a kid over at his house. So I finally added a Dick Tracy. And another score right here, The Hitman, Chuck Norris, original VHS, for $1. Had to get that. Also, in that movie, Michael Parks is one of the villains, which Michael Parks is the villain in Death Wish 5. Rest in peace, Michael Parks. One of the most underrated bad guy actors. Chuck Norris, David Carradine, Lone Wolf McQuade. I have a Lone Wolf McQuade, but I had never seen this cover before by Video Treasures, and it's my favorite cover that I found. Here's Dead Calm. A day before I picked this up, I was at Days of the Dead, and I got a photograph with Billy Zane, and Billy Zane is the bad guy in this movie. I thought that was funny. I just had met him. And also, about a week or two before that, Sam Neill passed away. Rest in peace. Black Moon Rising is the next tape I'm showing you here. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Also, feel free to comment below if I missed anything or you want to talk more about these movies. Add to the video. I really appreciate that. I have never seen Black Moon Rising. Linda Hamilton and Tommy Lee Jones meet Sam Quint. Stealing from him is the biggest mistake you can make. Sounds like Tommy Lee Jones is the bad guy. I love when Tommy Lee Jones plays bad guys. He's so good at it. Thinking of, oh man, losing my mind here. Steven Seagal. Under Siege. There you go. Species 2, mating season begins. I don't have a Species 2, so I picked that up. It's okay. The shape is okay. I more so just wanted it in my collection for $1, right? Dark Shadows. The original series, The Best of Dark Shadows. This looks like it has several episodes on it. My dad was a big fan of this show. I watched a little bit of it when I was a kid. I forget what network used to rerun these. It may have been the Sci-Fi Channel, but a very good show. Classic horror television. Wolf. I remember when this came out. I haven't seen it since it came out. Jack Nicholson playing a werewolf. Also Michelle Pfeiffer. I love the cover. It's the same on both sides. Wild Geese 2. Wild Geese 2. This is wild. That's a wild name for a title. It's an HBO video hard case, white case. Just the same as Return of the Living Dead was. You got Scott Glenn. I always think of him from Urban Cowboy and also the bad guy in Backdraft. Some classics from my childhood, which I already have this one, but it was in better shape. We got Jingle All the Way, and one of my favorite live action / animated Disney movies, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Classic. All right, 2 more rows to go. Here we go. Jackie Chan, Spiritual Kung Fu. I have not seen this Jackie Chan movie. There was a time when I was a kid, probably mid-90s to late 90s, whenever a new Jackie Chan film came out on new release, I rented it. My favorite Jackie Chan movie of all time is Rumble in the Bronx. It's so good. Next we have UFO sightings, photographic evidence, 2-tape set. This is, in this day and age with AI, I would say this thing has gone up in value. They wanted $5 for it, but again, I negotiated and I got all of these for 75 cents. I look forward to watching that. Next up, we have the classic Bonnie and Clyde, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. I thought that was a cool cover there. Of course, also, you have the great late Gene Hackman in that film. And this was actually a Hollywood videotape. And it looks like McKinley Avenue. Not so sure where that was. We can look it up, but I'm assuming it's in Indianapolis. All right, for the next 4, we have a series, and I have never heard of it. And I was like, well, if I buy one, I got to get all 4. There might be a 5th one. I don't know. There could be. It could go all the way to 10. But they had the first 4 of something called Apocalypse. Comment below if you ever seen these. I have no idea. It looks like it's like End of Days, like Doomsday series. It might even be religious. I'm not so sure. But you can see that the actors kind of change as it goes. We've got Gary Busey in the 3rd one. And the 4th one, the last, we have Corbin Burnson, Jessica Steen, Mr. T. Mr. T's in this one. And Nick Mancuso. So there you go. All 4 Apocalypse right there. $4. Hunted. Now, I remember watching this in Florida at the Oldsmar AMC before I even moved to Florida. We were on spring break, and Dad loved to watch movies, and it was very common for us, if we didn't have anything to do on our vacations, we would take a break and go see a movie. And for that night, it was The Hunted. And I really enjoyed this movie when it came out. I actually bought it on DVD eventually. This is at the time when, this is like 2001, 2002. This is one of the, in that era, one of the last new release VHSs going to a video store. So I had to get this. This is actually from USA Video in Albany, Indiana. So if you rented this video in Albany, Indiana, I got the tape you watched it on. There's some really cool knife fights in this movie. That's why I really liked it. If you haven't seen The Hunted, check it out. I think it's way underrated. Of course, you got Benicio del Toro and Tommy Lee Jones. Some great acting. Unexplained Mysteries. Now, this is sealed. Jack the Ripper. And this looks like it's a documentary. It's only 30 minutes long. I don't know if I'll open this up and watch it. I might just keep it in here. Host Patrick McNee. Another exciting voyage of discovery. Next, we have Jack Wagner. This tape is also sealed. What is funny about it is there's no title on the cover. You have to flip it to the side. Nowhere to Land. Thought that was unique. We've got Jennifer Lopez in The Cell. Somewhat still in the original plastic there. It's in good shape. The Godfather Part 2. I do not have this on VHS, nor do I have most of the Godfathers. I do have them on DVD. I thought this was a great cover with Michael Corleone on here, Al Pacino. This is a good shape. $1. Daylight, one of my favorite Stallone movies. Actually, just recently rewatched this. This version has 10 minutes of exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, which I thought was really cool. That's a great disaster movie if you haven't seen it. Disaster movies were a big thing in the late 90s. We got Vin Diesel in Pitch Black. And this is a special edition cover. And I don't think I've ever seen Pitch Black. I know, don't shoot me, but maybe I could watch it for my first time right here on this, with this video. Did you grab your snack and your popcorn? Do you need a little intermission? We got one more row to go. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. And then we'll break into resharing that and then the other stuff down on the other side of the pool table, which I just showed you. We've got Glory, one of my favorite war movies and Civil War movies. Probably my favorite Civil War movie. And this is cool because this was a rental. New release sticker, drama sticker, a number here. Let's see what it looks like. This came from Kroger Movie Center. Is this the one from Newcastle? Because I used to rent tapes at that one. This could very well be from my hometown Kroger, which is part of the reason why I love picking stuff up like this. That is so cool. This could have been, I don't think I rented this when I was a kid. I think I watched this on TV. Easy Rider, classic. Take a load off Betty. Is it Betty or Annie? I can never think of that. Peter Fonda, Dennis Hopper, Jack Nicholson. It's a movie that really doesn't need an introduction. This one was so groundbreaking and different when it came out. I wasn't alive, but when I watched it for the first time, all those years later, probably been about 25, 30 years after it came out, I was like, yeah, I get this. I get why this is a thing. We've got Romancing the Stone, Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and right next to it, I couldn't pass them both up, The Jewel of the Nile. I think I do have, I may actually have a set of these, but they weren't in great shape like these, so I picked those up again. $1.50. Come on, I got to do it. Never heard of this one. Farrah Fawcett, The Burning Bed. This was a TV movie. You maybe caught it on TV. It says the best TV movie of the year, Time Magazine. I actually would like to watch this. This is probably not streaming anywhere. You probably can't find it on DVD, and you probably definitely can't find it in 4K. That's why I love picking stuff up like this, because it's hard to find, especially TV movies. Next up, Sealed, Thelma and Louise. One of the most classic dramas from the 90s. A couple years ago, Chris and I, Chris the girl on YouTube, my fiance, we got a photograph with Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis at MegaCon Orlando, which was really cool. And Chris is a big fan of this movie, and it's really good. Also Brad Pitt in this. It's a classic. It's sealed. Had to get it. It does say $4.98 there. I think I'm getting into a vendor. So this was at the same place, the antique store, but it was a different vendor. So I did pay full price for these just because I only bought a few from that vendor. So $5 for that, basically. And then next up, we have Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, which is, if you haven't seen this, it's really funny. This used to play on, I want to say HBO or Stars back in the day. Remember a company called Prime Star? We had Prime Star in Indiana, which was bought out by DirecTV. This used to play on my TV in the mornings as I was getting ready for school, and I just remember laughing and wanting to watch more of it. It's in great shape, so I picked that one up. The Bedroom Window, starring Steve Guttenberg, Elizabeth McGovern, and Isabel Huppert. Never heard of it, never seen it, obviously. You gotta hear it to see it. Same vendor. I have no idea what this is about, but just looking at the cover makes me think it's like a mysterious drama, maybe a thriller. I will actually watch that one. Next up, my favorite Western of all time, Sealed. This is also the 75-cent vendor is now what I'm calling it. It's a great cover. Just one of the best performances by Clint Eastwood, and just a classic. My dad really loved this movie as well. If you haven't seen The Outlaw of Josie Wales and you want to watch a good Western, check that out. Blown Away. I remember actually watching this in the theater with my parents when I was a kid. Jeff Bridges, Tommy Lee Jones. Again, Tommy Lee Jones playing a bad guy. This is Sealed. This is a MGM United Artists Movie Time release, which was a thing in the 90s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. And the last three, I actually bought at a Goodwill in Rushville, Indiana. We got Iron Will, Sealed. I remember when this came out. Also, there was an Iron Will 2, I believe. It's got the movie deal sticker. We've got another Jackie Chan movie, Mr. Nice Guy, which I watched as a new release. 1998 national theatrical release there. Looks like they sold this at Walmart for $3.88. I got it for 75 cents. This one, out of all you see here, I'm most excited to check out. The Rescue. This is a Touchstone video, or a Touchstone movie, which is Disney, a star-spangled stand-up and cheer crowd pleaser. This looks to me like a Red Dawn knockoff. It says right here, this is funny. Step aside, Arnold, Sly, and Clint. The rescue is the most rousing action adventure of the summer. Michael Medved said that of sneak previews. Kevin Dillon and Mark Price from Family Ties. I want to watch this so bad. And I may actually remember this and it just disappeared and forgot about it. But I'm anxious to watch The Rescue. Red Dawn 2.0. I don't know. I'm just assuming it's like Red Dawn. And the last three I got at Goodwill. I think they were $1. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Yeah, baby. Galaxy Quest, instant classic movie. And You've Got Mail. Chris really loves this movie. It's one of her favorites. So I got all these so I could potentially just put in my collection and watch. All right, before I reshare all of those, I want to show you the Karma Corner over here. Karma Video, check them out, stop in. There used to be a Karma record store in Newcastle, Indiana for a while when physical media was a huge thing. Karma also had video rentals as well. I remember renting videos there, specifically at the Karma in Newcastle. They had many locations, and they still have a couple, I think, but I think the one where I bought all this stuff here is their main location. Here's what I got. I got CDs and a t-shirt. It was so nostalgic walking back in to Karma Records and buying some of the CDs I bought when I was a kid, including Kiss Alive, Sealed. I used to have the CD. I had to get it back. I was there that weekend to watch John Mellencamp with my mom, and I saw they had a bunch of John Mellencamp CDs that I used to have or my dad used to have. Of course, we got John Cougar Mellencamp. I remember my dad telling a story. He was in a band, a cover band, and they would play bars, and they were playing in Seymour one night, and he was there with some of John Mellencamp's bandmates, and I don't remember which ones they were, but he overheard them talking, and they were kind of like talking to them because they were in John Mellencamp's band, and he overheard them saying, can you believe what he's going to call his album? One band member talking to another John Mellencamp band member. Yeah, he's going to call it And it was about this time. And this is the album that has Pink Houses on it. Also, Crumbling Down, the Authority song. One of his best albums, play guitar. So yeah, my dad actually overheard a conversation about this CD. Human Wheels. Another great album. Of course, it's got Human Wheels on it. When Jesus Left Birmingham. What If I Came Knocking? Really good song. And I was just going hardcore in on the John Mellencamp because at one point I had every CD and it actually got, my collection actually got stolen out of my car in my driveway in Town and Country, Tampa. Yep, true story. And then I remember when this came out, I was actually living in Indiana as a kid. This was his first greatest hits album, the best that I could do, 1978, 1988. And then right here is my favorite AFI CD, which I did not have, and it's sealed, so I had to rebuy that. We've got Rage Against the Machine, sealed, Evil Empire, which is so iconic. We got Bulls on Parade, one of the best songs from the 90s right there. And then this one here, unless you're from Indiana, you might not recognize or have ever heard of this band. My dad was a huge fan. The Y Store. They put out 2 CDs back in the 90s, and we had both of them. This is their first album. And the guy's voice, I think his last name is Schaefer. I think it's Schaefer. Someone will correct me from Indiana. But just a unique band, a unique sounding band. It's really got that 90s rock thing going. And it was cool. Very nostalgic to find this and buy it, because my dad used to jam out to this CD in his car and by the pool every summer. So look forward to listening to that. And then last but not least, I had to do this. One of my favorites of all time. I've always wanted to pick up a Tom Petty t-shirt, and they had one hanging there inside Karma. And I also bought a Karma t-shirt, which I've already worn in a couple videos. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Gainesville, Florida. My first Tom Petty t-shirt, actually, surprisingly. All right, since I've already shared these before, I think I'll skip to my Tennessee pickups from the last couple weeks, and then I'll quickly show you those at the end. But we still have a lot to share right here. But before I do that, I'm going to clear this pool table. I'm going to put everything up you see right here, and then I'll display the ones in that box over there back out on the pool table. I'm going to clean this up. It won't take me very long. Well, it won't take you guys very long. I'm going to speed things up. Alright guys, I told you I wouldn't make you wait very long. As you can see, things have changed. Alright, for these next 7, I got these at a place called Bargain Hunters, which is a giant thrift and antique store on the south side of Knoxville. And if you want to see how this day happened, Chris recorded that day on her YouTube channel. She made an entire video. Her video was more focused on finding Halloween at thrift stores, and I was just tagging along, and I found everything that I'm about to show you in multiple stores, but amongst that day. So check out her full-length video to see the actual physical stores where I picked up all these tapes I'm about to show you. And of course, we're starting with Time Cop, Van Damme, Sealed. Saw this in the movie theater, also with my parents when I was a kid on the east side of Indianapolis. I remember him doing Jean-Claude Van Damme doing a promo. I think it was on the Jay Leno Tonight Show, and him doing the splits like he did in the movie. This was just a good time to be watching movies in the theater, and I actually enjoyed this movie very much, so glad to pick it up for $4.99. Next up, I was born in East LA.
Born in East LA, man, I was born in East LA.
An hilarious comedy from my childhood. Actually, one of the very first DVDs I ever picked up. Cheech Marin, of course, hilarious. Don't know if this is streaming anywhere. Hard to find. I had never seen it on VHS, so I picked that up. $5.99 for that one. We've got Pretty Woman, which always shocked that. Pretty Woman, check this out. It's a Touchstone video, a Disney video. Always blows my mind that movie's it's a great movie, don't get me wrong, love it, classic, but I would never picture this as being related to a Disney movie or a Disney at all. Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, classic with bonus footage and interviews. It's a special edition. I had to pick that up for $5. Then we got The Sound of Music. This is a widescreen edition, which I had not seen before, and I thought that I'd get that, add that to my collection. Fried Green Tomatoes, original, in very good shape. To be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever seen this movie from start to finish. I've caught different scenes of it on like HBO and Cinemax over the years, but I really enjoyed what I saw. I really do need to watch it from start to finish. Obviously filmed in the South, I believe in Georgia. And we have probably my second favorite Clint Eastwood Western movie, Pale Rider. What you got here is a nice piece of hickory, something he says in the movie, one of the lines I remember. Such a great film. And then last but not least, we've got Dirty Harry, one of the best ever series of films, the Dirty Harry movies. And I do not have the original Dirty Harry on VHS. This is a really cool cover in really good shape. This one was a little more. It was $12.99, so might be whoever was selling this, they didn't want to get rid of it as much as they did these other ones. So, oh, okay. I guess these two, my bad. These two are from Nostalgia. I got them mixed in, so I'll show you the Nostalgia pile next. My bad. Nostalgia is a cool retro antique thrift store. They've got a lot of booths. This is actually their South location. They have 2 locations in Knoxville. I've only been to the South one. And this guy, if you're a fan of the real Ghostbusters, you knew right away who he was. I saw this in a booth and I had to get it. Huge fan of Ghostbusters, obviously. always say that The Real Ghostbusters is my all-time favorite cartoon, of course. This guy, he squeezes his legs. He's the Frankenstein. They had all these cool like monster figures that did stuff like this, and I never had this figure, so I picked him up. I don't even remember how much I paid for him. I was just like, I'm getting this. I might say it on the tag. I'll show you when I'm done having fun. Hey, friend. Okay, wait, I'm having too much fun. $10. Probably paid a little too much, but you know what? I didn't have them. Now I have them. Yeah, you do. All right, on second thought, I'll get back to my nostalgia pile. This was the last place we went that day. America's Thrift Stores. It's like a Goodwill. It's a thing here in Knoxville. I picked up Marooned, starring Gregory Peck and Gene Hackman. I have never seen this movie, never seen a tape. It's in really good shape. Didn't mean to rhyme. I'm actually popped that in the VCR. And we've got Legend, sealed, MCA Universal Hot Hit. Not the original, but it is sealed. It is a classic movie. If you haven't seen Legend, what are you waiting for? We also have Lethal Weapon 2, sealed. I had to pick that up. I don't think this is an original. I think this was a second release. It does have the 75-year sticker on it, so would have been 1991 Warner Brothers classic. And then I picked up a DVD. The only DVD I picked up out of this entire 2-week span of finding physical media, and I thought it was cool. Sometimes I like to buy these DVDs that have like lots of movies on them, especially if they have a lot of my favorite actors, this specifically westerns: John Wayne, Charles Bronson, Jack Palance, and Lee Van Cleef. There is just a boatload of western films on here. Just to show you what's on here real quick. Looks like disc 1, disc 2, side A, and then you have disc 1, disc 2, side B. The Great Duel, Lee Van Cleef. I don't think I've seen that one. I actually haven't seen most of these. And so this last pile of VHS, there are 6, and the last one was also purchased. All of these were purchased at Nostalgia South. The last one I will share with you, I consider one of the greatest pickups of my collection life, and I'm so excited to share the last one with you. But the first 5 here, we start with a war movie that I really enjoyed when I was a kid. This is, you don't get a lot of 80s World War II war movies. This is the big red one. Mark Hamill, Lee Marvin, and rest in peace Robert Carradine in this film. The shape of the cover is not really good. It's okay. Had to get that. It was $2. Magnaforce. Got another Dirty Harry movie. I love this cover. Never seen it before. Had to pick that up. I believe that was $2 for that one. National Lampoon's Class Reunion. I don't know if I've ever seen this. I've definitely never seen the tape. For $2, I picked that up. Comment below if you've seen that. I may have seen it. I'm not so sure. We've got, last but not least, as far as Dirty Harry movies, The Deadpool, which was the last movie. Jim Carrey's in that movie. He's in the beginning. Young Jim Carrey. And then this was more so just kind of a guilty pleasure. A Smoky Mountain Christmas. This is like a documentary style. Just shows you what life is like in the Smoky Mountains. I might pop that into the VCR like around Christmas time. And when I was purchasing those tapes at the cash register in Nostalgia, out of the corner of my eye, there was a booth across from the register, and I saw a stack of VHS tapes. So I naturally went over there, and I started looking, and I found this. Fright Night 2, Part 2. Huge fan of the original film. Of course, I rented this as a kid. I haven't watched it in a long time. This is very hard to find anywhere. I don't think it's streaming anywhere. It's very hard to find on DVD and Blu-ray. Actually, the only Blu-ray I ever saw of this movie was a bootleg copy. I just scored Fright Night Part 2 in an amazing condition. It's been resealed here for you. I got this at Nostalgia South, And I did pay, this is the most expensive VHS tape out of everything you saw here today. This is the most amount I paid for, $30 for this. And to be honest with you, I probably would have paid at least $20 more. I do not have it. It's such an iconic sequel. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where to tell you to go watch it. You could come over to my house and we could pop it in the VCR. That's about all I know. And that's how rare it is. So this was my favorite score of everything you've seen here. I'm actually going to take it out of the plastic so we can look at it. Of course, Roddy McDowall back for the sequel as Peter Vincent. Welcome to Fright Night Part 2. Peter Vincent, Roddy McDowall, the Great Vampire Killer, and Charlie Brewster, William Ragsdale. Speak of the Devil, I just saw William Ragsdale also, and the cast of Fright Night, at Days of the Dead Horror Convention. Charlie has just met Regine Dandridge, played by Julie Carmen, an exotic heart-stopping beauty with a deadly taste for things warm and red. It's basically Charlie goes to college. If you haven't seen Fright Night Part 2, what are you waiting for? That's my own plug. This is an iVideo. This may be, I'm not so sure. This might be, it's definitely an original. It might be the only release of Fright Night 2 ever. Is by Ive. Alright, so last but not least, I've already shared these, so I'm just going to go through this quickly. This is my pickups. These are my pickups from Days of the Dead Horror Convention 2026 in Indianapolis. Tremors. Got another copy of A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. This is my second copy. Deer Hunter Sealed. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, starring Billy Zane. Thought it was cool to pick that up as Billy Zane was in the same building. A not well-known kids film from my youth, The Paper Brigade, Robert Englund in a kids movie, Freddy Krueger, The Omen 2, $15 for that. That's a good price. I've seen these go for like $50 or $60. It's in great shape. We've got Children of the Corn 2. I really like this sequel. I had never seen this cover before. This was at a video store in Indiana. Officer and a Gentleman. I actually picked this up. Yeah, I got this at the convention. These are all from the convention. Dirty Dancing, not horror, but it looks like an original. Had to get that. Mr. Mom, one of my favorite John Hughes / Michael Keaton movies. Also, rest in peace, Terry Garr. Classic comedy. And we got a few more. Mrs. Doubtfire, one of my favorite movies of all time. I can put that on anytime and just watch the whole thing. It's such an easy, lovable watch. Huge fan of Mrs. Doubtfire. The River Wild, one of my favorite Kevin Bacon / Meryl Streep movies. This is a classic. This movie holds up. It's a really good thriller. If you haven't seen The River Wild, I always recommend this if you're into adventure. And last but not least, Death Wish 3, Charles Bronson. I've got a lot of Death Wish. Huge fan of Charles Bronson. My favorite Bronson film, of course, Death Wish and 10 to Midnight. My two favorite films, which I also have both of those on VHS. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Those are my July pickups, all my physical media pickups from July. Hope you really enjoyed it. I will be sure to do a video, an update video to my collection sometime in the future. I think what I'll do is, unless I'm out at a convention, of course, I'll show you what I'm picking up. But if I'm out and about off camera and I find something, I'll just let it accumulate just like I did this past month and just do a huge haul. And then again, remember, someday I will display all of my VHS collection. And I can't wait to do that. We're getting there. We're getting there. I just have not a lot of time. I have a lot of travel coming up. I have a huge Halloween haunt season where I visit nothing but haunted attractions all of August, September, and October. I'll be doing other things, of course, in between, but primarily these haunt seasons are what I live for. I'll be showing a lot of haunted attractions. So I've got basically all the way to November 1st all planned out. Every weekend is going to be action-packed. And in between there, I might make a couple stops. There are some video stores that might pop up across my travels, or vintage and retro stores where I can go through and pick up VHS. So if you know of any good stores, I always love to put it out there. Let me know in the comment section somewhere. Maybe you were somewhere and you saw some tapes. Maybe I'm in the area and I can stop and thumb through. So I really appreciate those tips. And if you're a collector and you've got a serious collection, let me know. If you've, especially if you put it on a YouTube video, we'd love to check it out. Always love sharing nostalgia with other people and people like you guys. And thank you so much for watching this video and all my videos. It means so much to me. Wouldn't be the same without you. That's gonna do it. It was a different kind of video today, and tomorrow it'll be a different kind of video. I'm excited. I've had a trip this weekend planned for a very long time, and I hope to see you there. We are going far. That's all I'm going to say. No spoilers. That's a little spoiler. Now it's time to test the ultimate pickup for today's creature feature. We end with Fright Night Part 2. I don't know why I said it so slow. Do you have a taste for terror? Here we go. It's rewound. That's good. I love that sound. Man, that's such a good sound. Moment of truth. Let's see if this thing works. You guys ready? Fright Night Part 2. Yes. It's looking good. It's in good shape. No trailers. Oh. Whoops, that's going to wake up the whole house. Recap. There we go. That's awesome. Looks like it recasts the first film. A Tommy Lee Wallace film.
What really happened? Jerry Dandridge was a serial murderer, cult worshiper, kidnapper. He abducted my girlfriend Amy and my friend Ed Thompson, and this triggered a defense mechanism in my brain which caused me to imagine he was a vampire.
I'm going to end this video so I can enjoy this movie. Thank you so much for watching. Know that you're awesome, that you're loved, and no matter who you are, and no matter what you're going through, just know that there's always much ahead. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.